All right. Who's this? Have we met? Have we met?
My name is Jimmy Jimerson. What's up?
You crack corn and I don't care.
Remember that. Y'all ready to burn this?
Hell yeah.
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 This is for all the people who were enslaved from 1619 to 1865. Gotta say fuck the Confederates and fuck the Klan and fuck white nationalists.
All right.
Fuck that rag.
Fuck them all.
These anti-fascist activists are riding high after a string of victories. They're camping in the deep woods of Tennessee the night before a white nationalist conference, hoping to shut it down.
So, hey everyone, can we gather around here a little bit? How are you guys? I haven't seen you in a while. It's been a week. Right? Am I talking to who I'm thinking I'm talking to? Yeah? Okay.
We all know each other.
I want to say thank you guys. All of you. I've not met some of you, but you guys you're here. And it makes me really proud to be fighting by your side.
We're a family. We're not blood, but we're family.
Tomorrow, when you're given that choice of do I take the next step, fucking take it.
Many of these guys are veterans of past events. They've been in fights together, bailed each other out of jail. They travel around the South and Midwest to protest white nationalists. Since Charlottesville, white power events have gotten smaller, but Antifa wants them to stop entirely.
Antifa employs different tactics and strategies to deplatform white nationalists, Nazis.
And what are those strategies?
A lot of times it includes actual violence.
But are you ever concerned that, like, even if these methods work, they might be unethical?
I'm okay with that. I don't feel bad for ruining their fucking weekend.
Do you ever feel like fighting Nazis gives you purpose? And so, like, in a way, it gives you your life meaning?
No. I'd so much rather be doing other things. Making science fiction movies and, spending time with my daughter. I feel like I have to do it because so few people realize that phrase, lest we forget. Most people have forgotten.
This is our campus! This is our city!
In March, Antifa scored its biggest victory. At Michigan State, they fought off Richard Spencer's supporters, and the night before, found out where they were staying and got in a car chase. Spencer canceled his college tour a few days later.
Antifa is winning to the extent that they are willing to go further than anyone else.
Some of these tactics are a bit less brutal than punching people.
It was from some kind of fake email, but I was able to trace it back to him.
They've doxed white nationalists, posting their real names and locations so neighbors and employers know who they are. And they've engaged in creative counterintelligence.
It's real easy to catfish them, and that always leads to solid intel.
So explain what catfishing means.
Pretending to be a girl.
We create a profile, very typical, very stereotypical woman who is approaching these guys who are insecure. You throw a little love at them.
What kind of love? Like, you're so sexy?
Yeah, you're a badass. You're so good at what you do.
How do I be a part?
Yeah.
Where do I go? That's how we find out what they're planning, where they're going to be, and how they're doing it. Using their misogyny against them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
that's so interesting.
They couldn't fathom that they could ever be duped by a female.
This is the American Renaissance Conference, an annual meeting of white power figures who work to give an intellectual sheen to racism. Jackets and ties are required.
I got the lip
A few dozen anti-fascists were there to get in their faces and to stop their conference. But that's gotten harder to pull off. Police are better prepared with a massive display of force.
Whoa, you can say it halfway. The police have completely fenced off the area that they want us to be in. This is the only area that they're letting us be in.
Protests were limited to a demonstration area surrounded by fences and a moat of police. All they could do was yell.
Fucking look at it! Fucking not
That's
good!
the first time today you done looked at
Be
it.
fucking accountable for your actions!
If you weren't in that uniform, them motherfuckers would kill you just as quick as they would kill me or any other black man.
What the fuck are you
fucking
doing?
sitting by 'em.
What the fuck are you doing? They want you dead! Hey, you! Hey! Fucking look at me! Fucking look at me!
This was too much for some allies.
When I come through the police, I tell them, I said, thank you for taking care of us to keep us from these Nazis who are truly dangerous and terrible people. It sort of puts them a little off balance because they're expecting people to call them motherfucker and all that kind of thing.
Watch out! Watch out!
Mask guy, look out, the mask is on.
This was the only major conflict of the day.
Let him go! Let him go!
Police jumped in to remove one protester who they said pulled his bandana over some of his face. He was not arrested.
Before the conference, you guys were talking about shutting the whole thing down, making them have a really bad day. You weren't able to do that. Their conference seemed to go on as planned. So do you still consider this a success?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I consider that the fact that we get people out there and there's a show, you don't win every battle. And I don't expect to.